Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are having a good Thursday. It is the 21st of October as I am filming this, and I wanted to come on here really quickly because I haven't really been on YouTube for about 2 weeks now, and I would like to explain my reasons why I haven't been on YouTube as of lately. To begin, on the first week of October, literally right after my birthday weekend, Nick had found out that he tested positive for COVID. So I had to quarantine for about a week and a half with Nick because of COVID. Thankfully, because I had COVID at the beginning of this year, I guess the antibodies were still in my system from previously, and I also have the first dose of the vaccine. I did not get the second dose of the vaccine. I do not want to discuss my reasons why, because I feel like when talking about the vaccine, it causes a lot of controversy, and I just don't feel comfortable discussing it. So I hope you all can understand that. But Nick ended up getting tested positive for COVID, and shortly after Nick got COVID, my mother ended up getting COVID as well. So both Nick and my mother were positive COVID, and thankfully my father and I did not test positive for COVID. Nick is doing a lot better now. Unfortunately, his quarantine fell on his birthday, but he ended up being out of quarantine a little before his birthday. I had very big plans, as you may have known from my previous videos. I had planned to take him away for the weekend. I was going to take him to the Renaissance Fair in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, but unfortunately I did not feel comfortable going that far out of state and to such a big event with Nick after he just got over having COVID. So we thought it would be the best idea to not do that. So I ended up getting a credit for those tickets that I purchased, and next year we definitely plan to go. So without a doubt we are going to go. But as of this year, we are not going to be able to go. I also had to, unfortunately, put my dog in the hospital around the same time that Nick was sick with COVID, and we ended up taking him out of the hospital. Well, no, we put my dog Scrappy in the animal hospital a little before we found out that Nick had COVID, and then right before we found out my mom had COVID, we took him out of the hospital, and my mom ended up shortly after that testing positive for COVID. So we put my dog Scrappy in the hospital because his kidneys were starting to fail, and this had happened to him about a couple years ago, and something that I never really talked to. I mean, I talked about my dog on the channel, but I never really talked about him in extent. So Scrappy was a Chihuahua. I bought him at a store that sold puppy mill dogs. What I will tell anybody is please, please, please adopt your animals. Do not get them through a puppy mill owned facility, because what ends up happening is when you buy these animals from a puppy mill facility, these breeders that are breeding these animals, you don't know what kind of disease they may have had or what kind of conditions they have gone through. And well, I had a dog prior to Scrappy. His name was Bruno, and Bruno was a Pomeranian, and he and Scrappy had very similar symptoms, and Bruno was also a puppy mill dog. So he unfortunately went through the same symptoms Scrappy did. He had a lot of issues with his skin, and because we didn't know what was wrong with Bruno at the time when he was going through his issues with his skin, their way of trying to fix the situation was to load him up on steroids. When you give an animal too many steroids, it bulks them up a lot, and eventually it causes them to have problems with their vital organs, mainly their kidneys. Bruno had passed away, I believe, in 2016, 2 days before Christmas. And we never got to find out what Bruno's cause of death was, because he died before we could even get a reason to why he went. Shortly after Bruno passed, I had another dog actually with Bruno that I had her since we moved to Jackson, New Jersey, which it has almost been about 17 years since we have been living here. Her name was Samantha. Sammy, we called her Sammy for short. Sammy was also a Chihuahua, and she unfortunately got very old, and she had cataracts in both of her eyes as she got older. She started to develop cancerous lumps all over her stomach, and actually this year, on the 26th of this month of October, it will be about 2 years that we had to put Sammy down. Now, when Bruno passed away, Sammy was about 10 years old, and I thought it would be a good idea to surprise my family after about 2 months with a new dog. And that new dog's name was Scrappy. And that was my baby. Now you're probably wondering why I'm saying was. Well, while my mother and Nick were sick, I had been taking care of Scrappy. Scrappy, when I said Bruno had the same thing that Scrappy went through, Scrappy also had a skin condition, and his paws were very sensitive, and whether it be hot out or cold out, no matter what the season, Scrappy's paws were very sensitive. And not only that, but there was a point in time where Scrappy was developing these blotches of, it looked like a fungus of some sort on his skin, which was causing him to lose his fur. And he went through that for a few years. He had gone through that. And the doctors, with many tests that we had gotten done, could not determine what it was that was causing him to get these spots on his skin that were making him lose his fur. So They pumped him with all these antibiotics. They gave him all these steroids. We tried so hard not to keep Scrappy on those steroids. But to keep him at bay and to keep him doing well, we did have to keep him on it, but we tried to do it in lower doses to prevent what happened with Bruno from happening to him. Well, unfortunately, Scrappy was going through the same thing that Bruno went through. And when he went to the hospital this recently, he got so terrible in the hospital. He wasn't drinking, he wasn't eating, and his mouth had turned black, and the tip of his tongue turned black. They told us that it would fall off on its own, and that he should be fine. He should be fine after it falls off, and he'll be able to eat and drink and whatever. When I tell you we brought that poor animal home, and he had looked like he seen a ghost, and it broke my heart seeing him the way that he was. And he was afraid to eat, he was afraid to drink, he was afraid to do anything. But I tried my damnedest to be there for him, to make him comfortable, to make him happy. I did everything I could under the sun. And eventually, the tip of his tongue did fall off, but he was still scared to drink and he was still scared to eat. They sent us home with an IV bag. They said he needed the IV treatments in order to keep himself going. We were performing them. He actually started drinking water a little bit on his own, and we were feeding him baby food. I thought everything was going okay. They said maybe him being home would help him get better after being in the hospital. And I thought that everything was progressively getting better. But then this week had took a turn for the worst. And yesterday, the 20th, we ended up having to put him down. And it broke my heart that I had to do that to him, because I was the one that brought him home, and then I was the one that put him down. And I know it was the right thing to do. He was suffering so much. I could see it. I could see it in his face. I could hear it. But I just had hoped. I hoped he would get better being home. I hoped keeping up with his medications and his IV treatments and getting him to drink water and trying to get him to eat. I thought that would help him. But he was just getting worse and worse and worse. So unfortunately, it was his time to go. I didn't want to say goodbye. I didn't want him to go. I wanted him to hold on just a little bit longer. But that didn't happen. And I will forever miss Scrappy the 5.5 years that I had him. He would have been 6 this weekend, the 23rd. That was his birthday. Scrappy was the sweetest Chihuahua we ever had. He was so cute and so sweet. He loved everybody that we brought around, and he made everybody smile and laugh with the silly things that he did, like the way he would howl at people, and his curly piglet tail that I never understood why he had, but As he was going, I could see that he didn't even have the strength to make his tail into a curl anymore. But Scrappy was my companion. Most animals, most dogs I've had in my life have been my companions. With my life being the way that it is, I don't really talk about it much, and I don't like to talk about it much. My parents have a very complicated relationship, and my way of coping with it was through our dogs that we had over the years. My siblings both have had their own lives. We've gone our separate ways, and now they're both married. They have their own lives with their own families. And when I was going through some horrible times, and when Scrappy was around especially, he was there for me with every horrible guy I dated, every friendship that ended, when I didn't think I had any family there for me, or even any friends. Scrappy had always been there for me through all of that, and I can't thank him enough for being there through all of my tough times. And I'm sorry I haven't been active on YouTube, and I'm sorry I haven't kept you guys informed, but I've been going through a rough 3 weeks, and it's just been so horrible, and it seems like day after day after day, these past couple weeks, I haven't been able to catch a break. And I wanted to make this video because I wanted to show the memory and all the good times that I've had with Scrappy over the past 5.5 years, and how much I loved him. And I hope he's in a better place right now, and I hope he's not mad at me for what I did. I just did what I thought was right. I knew this time was gonna come. I knew in these past couple weeks when my mom and Nick were sick, he was up and down, and I cried for weeks because I didn't know if he was gonna make it. And when I thought he was, I calmed down a little bit, but then I just saw him getting worse again. I'm sorry I'm crying. I'm sorry I'm upset. But what people don't realize is animals, whether they be dogs, cats, birds, any kind of animal, when you've had them for such a long time, they become a part of your family, and they're like your family too. And Scrappy was almost like having a baby. And he acted like a baby. And he was my baby. And my mom's. And we've been really having such a rough time. And I don't know if I'm gonna be okay after this. I've been trying so hard to just remember all the good things and all the good memories that I had with him. But I just miss him so much. And now that there's no animals left in the house, it just really breaks my heart that I don't have anybody like my dog to come home to and to greet me and be happy that I'm there, and to have to sit with and watch TV, or go for rides with, or go for walks with. It just really sucks that he's not here anymore. And I just miss him so much. And I can't stop thinking about him. And how good he was. And how much everybody loved him. And I can't stop thinking about that cute face. And how he would kiss me. It just hurts so much. I was supposed to have plans this weekend to go to a Halloween bar crawl, and I don't even want to do that. I don't even want to celebrate Halloween, and Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. And I don't even want to celebrate it because of how miserable I am. I'm supposed to go to a wedding with Nick next weekend. I honestly don't even think I'm going to be able to go. My heart just hurts so much. Anybody who has struggled with their animals, I hope you can understand what I'm going through. And I hope that you know that people have many different ways of mourning the loss of their animals. Some people might look okay, but they're actually not. Some people might break down for days. Some people might just smile and grin and bear it to try to mask the pain. I've been trying to do that since yesterday to try to make sure that my mom doesn't try to focus all of her. My mom is still not right after COVID, and I don't want all this to weigh heavy on her while she's still trying to heal from the COVID. I don't want her to spiral out of control and not be able to function or try to focus on taking care of herself to get better from the COVID. So I've been trying to not focus her attention on him so that she can focus on getting better, and it's been so hard seeing other dogs, watching commercials with dogs in them, seeing other people post pictures about their dogs. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart so much because I didn't think this time was gonna come. I didn't think it was gonna come now. I mean, I can't lie and say I didn't think it was gonna come. I knew it was gonna come, but I just didn't expect it so soon. I didn't expect him to go so soon. And it just breaks my heart that now he's gone and I can't bring him back. All I have left are memories, and I just miss him so much. I really do. And I just want you guys to know that hopefully soon I will bring some content on this channel that's a little more uplifting and a little more positive. But right now I'm probably going to be gone again for some time to process things. Maybe if I'm feeling up to it, maybe I'll record a video and put it up again soon, but right now these past couple weeks have just been really rough, and I need to be here with my mother, and I need to properly mourn and grieve over Scrappy. And I just wanted to throw a few pictures. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Hello guys, I'm sorry. I got a phone call from my girlfriend Jen, and I just wanted to say that I appreciate everybody who has sent their love and their regards, and everybody who reached out personally to me and sent their regards. I appreciate it very much, and I love each and every one of you for doing that for me. Thank you so much. It really shows who is most valued in my life and who really is there for me in my life, especially at a time like this. And I just wanted to say that, you know, when videos will come. Please be patient. I just need the time right now to process everything and get myself together. And I wanted to end this video on some wonderful memories that I have with my baby, Scrappy. And until next time, guys, I hope to see you soon. Bye. Mwah.
You talking to mom? You talking to mom? Or listen to suicidal thoughts or actions. You talking to your mama? You are. You talking to your mom? Where's your mama? Where's mom? Mom? Why don't you look at me when I kiss you? Get her, baby, get her, get her, get her! Get her, get her, get her! Get
Get her. Get Sammy. Get Sammy. It's all right. Stop. It's all right. What? Come here. Do you want your cone off or not? That's my boy. That's my boy. Why is your cone all wet? What am I gonna do with you?